Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whenever you are watching this. If you are joining me live, this is episode 48 of the Productive Wellbeing Show. And you are joined by me, your host, Abigail Barnes, and it is so exciting to be with you. Today, we are going to talk about 3 ways to avoid distraction and remain focused on what you need to get done. And this conversation is one that comes up with people over and over and over again, because there is just so much out there on our phones, in our lives, in our email, phone calls, conversations, people that are just all consuming all the time. And as you're joining me on the replay, or as you're joining me live, let me know where you're joining me from. If you're joining on the replay, let me know and say replay, because it would be so awesome to make this an interactive conversation with you today. Let me just get it up on LinkedIn so I can see you, and then we will be good to go. So, how are you doing today? What's the weather like? In London, it is a little bit cold, a little bit chilly. The sun's behind some clouds, but never mind. That is life. We will be absolutely fine. Hi, Anne-Marie. Lovely to have you with me. And guys, as you're joining on LinkedIn, I can see you all coming in now. Say hi. Let us know where you're joining from. My hair is having a funny one today. Hi, Karima, nice to have you here. Right, so let me know in the comments if distractions and remaining focused is something that is a big problem for you, or something that you struggle with on a daily basis, maybe in work or at home. Because, hi, Seri8, because I cannot wait to hear how you find these 3 recommendations that I'm going to make this afternoon, how you find them and how you use them, and what happens in your life as a result. Because the reason why it's super important for us to remain focused is so that we don't have to work any longer than we need to. And whether you're running your own business and you absolutely love it, or you're working in a job and you absolutely love, there isn't anybody that I've ever come across that gets to the end of the day, like an 8-hour day, a 10-hour day, a 14-hour day, and says, oh, I'd love to do more. People kind of get to the end of the day and they're like, oh, thank goodness, we've done that for today, and now it's time to stop and to move on to something else. And nobody wants to make 8 hours worth of work turn into a 14-hour day, or maybe you do. Let me know in the comments. Oh, hi, Sam, lovely to see you. Sam is joining us from the US. Let us know in the comments, guys, whereabouts in the world you're joining from, because I love to have this as like a global conversation. And oh, it's raining. It's raining where you are, Sarah. Yeah, but the funny thing is the weather can make us more productive, because when it's sunny, we do want to be outside, and we get hot. And this is one of the things about the world that we find ourselves in now, the remote working, and whether you are somebody who has worked from home all of your career, or suddenly you've found yourself new to remote working, you might not have air conditioning in your house. Maybe, Kerry, you're in Florida, you might have, and Sam, you might have air conditioning, but those of us in the UK, we don't really have air conditioning. So when it's hot, our homes are really hot, we don't necessarily want to work inside of them. So when it comes to focus and avoiding the distractions, these 3 tips that I'm going to give you will really help you to get the blinkers on and get what needs to be done, but also enjoy the process, because there is no point in us rocking up to work, rocking up to whatever needs to be done, and kind of being like, I'm here, let's go through the motions, and then clock out. I mean, we don't live in a world like that anymore. And hopefully all of us are in jobs and running businesses that we enjoy. And if we don't, we're getting to a stage and a place where we're realizing that we can make choices and change things up as much as we can within the the circumstances that we have. And if you've hung out with me before, you will know I'm an eternal optimist. So even when things look bleak, even when opportunities are not obvious, your email isn't sort of full of joy and happiness, your social media feed isn't, I am one of these people who always likes to see the optimism and the hope and believe that anything is possible and that change is right around the corner. And who would have thought we'd all be in the position that we're in right now, in countries around the world that are in lockdown, that are out of lockdown, experiencing the next wave of change that we're experiencing. I mean, the fundamental thing is this is life. Life is an evolution. There's always going to be another wave. And we've spoken about this before. If you imagine, it's like an up and a down. And it's like the up and down of an ECG machine or a heart rate monitor. And the ups and the downs are reminding us that we're alive. They're reminding us that things in our life are going on. So this is kind of like what we actually want. You know, we're still here. We've still got another chance. We've still got another opportunity to turn the ship around and to create change in our lives and see things in a different way. And I kind of see that every day we can go to bed and the next day, if we awake, is another opportunity. And here's something that I want to share, and I don't want to share it in a harsh way. I just want to share it as this is the reality of life. So every day that goes by, there's no rewind on that day. Every day that goes by is a day that's gone by. You will never get that day again. So this is why it's so important to understand how to manage your time, how to master that time, how to make the most of that time, and also to know what goal it is that you are going towards. Because if you don't have a goal, you are just going to get swept into everything. You are going to jump on every single person's bandwagon and get involved in everything that's going on. And that may or may not be a good thing, but equally, it is not going to help you when you look back and you're like, well, where's the last few months gone? Where's the last year gone? Where is the last 10 years gone? What have I done with my life? And the most amazing thing about life is that we can sit in the passenger seat and let somebody else drive our bus. Or we can choose to get into the driver's seat, kick them out, and take control. And that's not to say that it's going to be easy. That's not to say that we're even going to know how to drive. But the point of life is that we're here to live it, and that we're here to experience it, and that we're here to get the most out of this experience, and that we're here to learn and to make mistakes and to evolve from those mistakes and to give it another go. So let me share these 3 ways with you then. So this first way is a long conversation and other trainings, but in a nutshell, the first way is that you will need a to-do list. So if you're trying to come into work to get something done and you don't have a to-do list, you don't know what it is that you need to get done, you are going to get dragged into everything. You will be distracted. It is inevitable because you've got no direction, you've got no goal, you've got no place that you're going towards. So you will need a to-do list. Now, we have had other conversations in previous episodes about how to create the right to-do list and how to work out what task is more important than the other. And we've got something that we call the traffic light system, where we help people to color code their to-do list to identify what is important versus what is a distraction. So that's a whole nother training for another day. But just know that the first and most important thing to help you to control this ability to remain focused is a to-do list. The second thing, now this is a bit of comedy, but this second thing is so important. If you want to manage your energy throughout the day, you are going to need to know how to top your energy up. Otherwise, you'll wake up in the morning and you're full of energy. Maybe this is you already. If it is, let me know in the comments if you resonate with this. You wake up in the morning and you're full of energy, and by the end of the day, you just flop into bed. Is this you? Is this something that you can identify with? Because I know this was me until I learned this. And this is so many people that I meet until they understand how to manage their energy. If you resonate with that and you would like to know the secret, here is the secret. You will need a timer. Now, this is a comedy tomato timer from the kitchen, but you will need a timer, and this timer needs to be separate to your phone. So this, I always say to my clients, a physical timer is going to help you much better than a timer on your computer or a timer on your phone. You will see why, because the third thing, your phone is going to basically go to jail. But I'll talk to you about that in a minute. So you'll need to get a physical timer, whether you borrow it from your kitchen, because obviously we're all remote working right now, or you go online and you order one. You will need to set a timer, and it depends what kind of activity you're on. Again, another training for another day as to how long you set this timer for. But they say that if you can sit and do an activity and take a break every 30 minutes or every 60 minutes or every 90 minutes and stretch your body and look at different views and get away and have a mindful, restful moment, then this will help you to charge and recharge your energy. Imagine, like with our phones, I mean, our phones are kind of set so that we don't need to keep recharging them all day, but they do need to be recharged periodically. So what these breaks do is they're like a pit stop. So I heard this story, and if you're interested, go Google it to find out more. But the Formula One race cars, now they have to race around the track, depending on where the track is, maybe 40, 50, however many times that race is. So they will race around that track. And when they race around that track, they're called in every so often for a pit stop, but they don't call them in when the car is screaming and screeching and on fire and the tires are, you know, shredded and all coming off. They call them in at strategic points to service that car. So if you like, what this tip is advising you to do is to take strategic breaks. And one of my mentors, Brendan Bashard, taught us about his way that he manages his energy. So check him out and have a look and see if you want to know more about this. He has a particular way and a particular routine, and he will do some stretches, maybe some yoga stretches. He will also do this thing called Qigong, where he's sort of tapping parts of his body to wake up the energy. And he taught us how to do this. And it's amazing if you can give yourselves this strategic time out. Also, the other thing is the timer will keep you focused and on time with things. And the funny thing is that distraction is generally a chatter and a habit in our brains. Now, we are not born procrastinators. We are not born distracted. We are not born unfocused. We learn these things. So in order for things to change, we have to teach ourselves new habits. And I can see in the chat, some of you are sharing amazing comments sort of to back up what I'm saying. And everything I say in all of these episodes is based on research that I've done, but I will always advise people to go do their own research and to sort of understand and become more informed about what it is that you're interested in. Because fundamentally, how we spend our time, as I said, is creating our life and the life that we have. And if we want to create a different life, we have to take different actions. Karima, the Brendan Show, we've talked about him before in previous episodes. He is one of my big mentors. So now coming on to the third thing, I'm kind of saying this with trepidation, right? The third thing I'm recommending that you do is work out how to turn this phone into a focus machine. Now, I've been practicing this and I've been talking about this quite a few times on previous episodes, that I was going to recommend what I've been using, and I wasn't ready to recommend it until I'd used it enough. But I truly believe that now more than ever, this is just going to be amazing for you, because I've heard about people who put their phone in the safe. Now, if you don't have a safe, what are you going to do? Or they turn their phone off, or they put it somewhere else, or they give it to somebody. Now, this is going to massively help you take control of your phone. There are two apps, right? The first app is a free app. The second app is a paid app. I am recommending that you invest in the paid app. The paid app is £1.99, or it might be $1.50 or something like this. Unfortunately, I can only speak from an Apple iOS device. I'm sure they will have it in Android as well. But if they don't, again, do your own research, test your own things, speak to your friends and see what is working for them. Turning off all the notifications is a really top point. I've turned off all my notifications, but I still find that I touch my phone. So this app, what it does is it basically locks your phone, and it locks your phone to grow a tree. Sounds a bit crazy, right? Let me show you. So this is what happens right at the beginning. And this app, for those of you who are looking now, this app is called Forest. The free one is called Flora. So this paid one for like £1.99, $1 something, maybe it might be $2 something. I don't know what the currency exchange rate is at the moment, but watch this. So I set this timer for 30 minutes to experiment. So this starts to grow a tree. Now, just before you get too excited, in this app, it's growing a virtual tree. In other apps, I believe you can grow paid trees, but that's something that, I would suggest look into if you're interested. Then look at this. At 12 minutes, it says, leave me alone. So basically, the phone is reminding you not to touch it. Then at 9 minutes, it says, stay focused. And you can see that the plant in the middle is changing and growing. And then at the end, it says, hooray, you've planted one healthy tree in your forest. Right. So you can set the timer for as long as you want. So this is what the overview looked like for a year. This was before I did today's activities. So you can see this is the forest that I have virtually planted over a year. And you can see these are the total minutes. Now, because I've only been testing this number isn't as huge. So that's 14 trees that I've planted. If you use this consistently throughout the day and you set your phone to like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you can set it for 90 minutes, just experiment with it and see whatever resonates with you. Here is, so as I said, it's called Forest, $1.99, not affiliated to it. So if you buy it, you buy it. And if you don't buy it, then find something else that works for you. But I have found, since I have used this stops me from then just touching. And as you can see, even though I know not to touch my phone, it's still giving me these messages, because those were the times when I was touching it. And the fun thing is, use it, play with it. I didn't obviously do it today because I wanted to build my forest. But if you touch your phone, like say you have to touch your phone because you need to or whatever, if you touch your phone, the tree dies. And the dead tree gets planted in your forest. So then when you look back at your forest, you will see your forest has got dead trees in it. And I know this sounds really crazy, but it kind of acts like a way to play with your brain, to trick your brain into taking control of your time and remaining focused. And I've been watching some training recently with neuroscientists who talk all about how to increase the dopamine in your brain. And things like this can actually give you dopamine hits throughout the day. And if you're giving yourself dopamine hits throughout the day, it means you're getting mini rewards. And it makes it sound like, we're trainable dogs, which actually we are, which is kind of a bit crazy, but is good news in many ways, because we can train our brain to focus. So we can train our brain to get excited about these rewards, to grow a forest. And then when you get to the end of the day, you can see and you can start to look at what has happened to your timeline, to your productivity, and how many focused parts you've had on your day. Daniela, lovely to see you. And Daniela. Right, I just want to, so let me just demonstrate this specifically, because this was just today. So if you imagine, if I carried this on and I chunked my day, so one of the things I talk about to people is chunking. So if you chunk 60-minute chunks of work or 90-minute chunks of work, and then you put your phone basically into forest building mode or lockdown, by the end of the day, you will be able to see actually physically where your attention and focuses have gone. And I just think that is sort of a useful activity. And the one with Flora, the free one for Flora, you can find your friends. So if you've got people who need to study stuff, you can create study groups and you can compare and contrast. And obviously, because it's a free app, there's lots of upgrades and all sorts of things within it, which is why I think paying the $1.99 to get the paid one is worth it just from that point of view. So I've loved seeing your comments, and it is a comedy, fun way to avoid distractions, and it's a great way, if you don't have a safe, to basically physically lock your phone for a period of time. Let me know how this goes. If you have any questions, you are always welcome to put them in the comments or email me at hello@successbydesigntraining. We have a free group here on LinkedIn, obviously, and on Facebook. The group on both platforms is called the 888 Community. I'll share all of these images that I've just been showing on the show. I'll share them all in the group to help you sort of see if you've only tuned in halfway through and had no clue what I was talking about. But join the group. Also, you'll find out more about our 28-day challenge in there, where we're teaching people how to create self-care routines from as little as 8 minutes a day. And last night we launched an 8 for Me, 8 for You charity water campaign, where we are raising money to help people in developed countries or developing countries get access to clean water, which right now is even more important, because this clean water is helping them to wash their hands and avoid spreading the virus, which obviously is something that we in sort of the Western world countries have easy access to when we turn on the taps. Evan, the two apps that I was talking about, the free one is called Flora, Flora, and the paid one is called Forest, and it's £1.99. But I am recommending the paid one over the free one for the reasons why. But you'll be able to watch this back on replay to get all the details. Anyway, it's been so awesome to hang out with you guys this afternoon. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. We will be online at 11 o'clock again, because Tuesday afternoons is our afternoon show. Wednesday afternoons the afternoon show. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the morning show. So the Wednesday afternoon show, we can always see our US audience and other people on the time zones that it suits, and the other morning shows are different time zones for different people, but everybody can always catch up on this show on replay, and that's the best thing. But thank you. It's been awesome to hang out with you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 11. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and don't forget to wash your hands.